National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Abuja to protest the outcome of the 25th of February poll. The PDP flag bearer Atiku Abubakar, the party's national chairman Iyorchia Ayu, the vice presidential candidate of the party, and Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, amongst other leaders of the party, led the protest. The protest is part of the party's stance that the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections were not transparent. The protesters carry placards with inscriptions like "Nigerians have lost confidence in INEC, save our democracy. The 2023 general elections do not reflect the will of the Nigerian people," among others. In the meantime, INEC has assured that its result viewing portal that suffered glitches during the presidential and National Assembly elections is now up and running. The chief press secretary to the INEC chairman, Rotimi Oyekami, in an interview said the result viewing portal will be used during the governorship and House of Assembly elections this Saturday. INEC has so far uploaded 162,689 results from 176,846 polling units 7 days after the presidential poll. The resident electoral officer of INEC in Edo State, Obo Efara, has explained how political parties can lawfully question mutilated results uploaded on the INEC viewing portal, IREV. Mr. Efara, in a television interview, said political parties are given a copy of the election results, and if what the political parties have is different, then a legitimate issue can be raised about that. The new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, says it will sanction any of its members that form an alliance with any political party ahead of the March 11 governorship and state assembly elections. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Agbo Major, in a statement said members should remain focused, campaign vigorously, and ensure they sweep the elections across the country. And moving on, the River State government says those who were defeated in the presidential poll are churning out fake news against Governor Nyesom Wike. The State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Chris Feinbone, in a statement said those who are spreading the fake news are doing so to deceive Nigerians. He said a preliminary investigation by the state government revealed that the scheme is the handiwork of the opposition. In another development, APC spokesperson in Rivers State says Tony Okocha, who recently declared himself as the new leader of the APC in the state, is merely a member of an independent campaign outfit for Tinubu and not for APC. And not an APC member, I beg your pardon. In an interview, Mr. Nwauju asked him to mention the names of just 5 out of the 27 EXCO members of APC in his ward. He said Mr. Okocha is a conflictpreneur and has a history of transactional politics.
Has he been able to account for all the monies that passed through him? Even the PCC/ICC he belongs to is at daggers drawn with him, and he has not been able to establish himself as leader of the group. How much more the APC? Please remind Tony Okocha that when the pillars of APC in Nigeria will sit down to talk, he won't be there. The 1 million Tony Okocha cannot distract Rivers APC from winning the ballot on the 11th of March 2023.
Recall that a member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, claimed that he is the new leader of the APC in the state.
Our former leader, Right Honorable Rotimi Chibigame, don't forget, a day to the presidential election, he ordered his supporters to go and vote for the candidate of the PDP. And himself, it is also on record, we have it on record, good authority, that he also voted for the candidate of the PDP, who is Alhaji Atiku. That necessarily, by nature, disqualifies him as leader, and that I, Chief Tony Okocha, who won election with my own faction for our presidential candidate, is now the leader of APC in Rivers.
Well, still ahead, Federal High Court appoints vacation judges for Easter. Stay tuned. To the news. My name is Jude Omamigbe. We continue with stories now. The Federal High Court has released its 2023 Easter vacation and roster for vacation judges. A circular signed by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, Justice John So, said that the court will begin its Easter vacation from the 31st of March through to the 17th of April. The Assistant Director of Information, Federal High Court of Nigeria, Dr. Catherine Obi Christopher, in a statement said during the vacation period, the Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt judicial divisions will remain open to the public only for the cases of extreme urgency. She added that the Abuja Judicial Division will cater for cases from the Federal Capital Territory, North Central, Northwestern, and Northeastern parts of the country. The Lagos Division will cater for cases from all southwestern states, while the Port Harcourt Judicial Division will cater for cases from all states within the south-south and southeastern geopolitical zones. Many Port Harcourt residents are yet to start accepting the old notes of 1,500 naira 3 days after the Supreme Court said all old naira notes should remain a legal tender till the 31st of December. Speaking on this, human rights lawyer Henry Kine said the Supreme Court's decision confused Nigerians.
So the Central Bank of Nigeria has one deadline for these currencies to cease to be legal tender. The President has another, and then the Supreme Court has another. So which one is really what we are going to? The principle of separation of powers really didn't mean that any one of the organs of government is superior in any way over and above the other. In my thought and in my view, there are still controversies, especially as to whether the policy was held to be invalid or rather valid. Then we question, does the Supreme Court even have the power to determine when a legal tender will cease to be?
And now the business news.
From the world of business now, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has urged central banks to refrain from monetizing excessive government debt. Debt monetization is when government borrows money from the central bank to finance public spending instead of selling bonds to private investors or raising taxes. The IMF in the report said the ability of central banks to set monetary policy and control the economy in more volatile times is dependent on their independence. In entertainment, Big Brother Nigeria's White Money has joined the list of Maybach owners in Nigeria. The TV star, whose real name is Hazel Oyeze Onu, shared the news on his Instagram page, posting pictures of himself standing next to the luxury vehicle with the caption, "Miracle, no detire Jesus." In sports, Chelsea have one final shot to save their season when Borussia Dortmund visits Stamford Bridge in the last 16 of the Champions League on Tuesday, defending a 1-0 first leg lead. Despite an all-time record investment of over £500 million in one season by the Blues' new owners, Chelsea are languishing in 10th position in the Premier League and crashed out early in both domestic cups to Manchester City. And finally, from the international scene, 9 security officers were killed and at least 13 others were wounded during a suicide attack in southwest Pakistan. The blast happened in Balochistan province, where the officers were returning to the provincial capital Quetta after policing a festival. Images show a police truck crushed and overturned with blood stains on the ground. This is the second attack on security forces in the Balochistan within 24 hours. No group has claimed responsibility. Karachi District's Deputy Police Commissioner Sami Aga told newsmen it was a suicide attack. And that was news this afternoon. But before we leave, a quick recap of the stories that you heard. The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is leading a PDP protest in Abuja. INEC says it will use the results viewing portal on March 11 elections. Rivers APC has reacted to Tony Okocha's claim of being new party leader. And on the foreign scene, 9 security officers were killed in suicide attack in Pakistan. The news, was edited by Martha Okeri. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon, with temperatures of about 29 degrees centigrade to be expected. Please be advised. My name is Jude Omamegbe. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. Good afternoon.